Krita is one of the best free drawing program on PC once you know it, but I keep hearing people call it really bad and hard to use. So hopefully with this side-by-side tutorial, you ibisPaint user can use Krita easily. I use ibisPaint on PC here. It is exactly the same as mobile version. Let's be honest here, while ibisPaint is one of the best drawing program on mobile, this PC version is much worse than any other actual PC program. So if you just started doing digital art on PC, I recommend you to start learning this instead using ibisPaint again. Other programs like Clip Studio and Photoshop are really similar with Krita. So once you know this free program, you can easily use any of the programs. I surprised to see how many people searching for ibisPaint on PC while it's not that good. I always recommend them to just learn actual PC program and maybe start with Krita, and then you can easily try other programs. Starting with making new canvas. I'm sure you already know this. In Krita, we have similar gallery view of our recently opened drawings. Click on new image to make a new one, and we have a bunch of presets here, but only for actual paper size. For making actual digital drawing that not printed, I'll recommend you to just using the pixel size directly. Around 3000 pixels should be good enough. It's bare minimum size for HD drawing while still having extra space for doing composition. Instagram always limit the image size to 1080 pixels and Twitter also limiting it to around 1500 pixels. You can see it as 4K only when you zoom in, so this 3000 pixels is good enough. And ignore resolution or DPI because it's useless when you already set the pixel size directly. You only want DPI when you use the paper size like inch or centimeter. Also ignore the rest and click create. Usually the settings are saved, so the next time you open Krita, you can just click create directly. And we can just draw, nothing really overwhelming here once you know them. ibisPaint is actually equally overwhelming, but they just hide them because mobile screen is small back then. Let's start with the brushes. ibisPaint has ton of brushes here. Probably too many in my opinion. Usually people will select some of their favorite and put them to custom brush tab by clicking the plus icon. Krita also has a lot of brushes and that favorite features. My overlay here is blocking the view and I need to record this again. The brushes are on the lower right menu. I have installed ton of new brushes, but the default ones are still my favorite. You can click here to select the category or tag. This digital category is all you need for basic stuff like similar to my drawings. There are erasers, ink, paint, and sketch tag. Just stay with the digital group for now. We can change how the brush list is displayed, but stay with the details so you will know what are those new brush icons. And we can add some of our best brushes to favorite group. Right click and choose my favorites on the bottom. You also can make your own tag if you want. Then all of them will be together on my favorites tag. Make it easier to choose the commonly used brush. Next we can start drawing. It's pretty straightforward. Just move your pen and draw, same like ibisPaint. The main difference is probably how you move around. Mobile ibisPaint user use their fingers to move around and rotate and zoom. While on PC, not many monitor or pen tablet has touchscreen support, so we always rely on the keyboard shortcut. So always put one hand to your keyboard. To move, we hold space and use the pen to drag around. To zoom, the default shortcut is Ctrl and plus to zoom and Ctrl minus to zoom out. And to rotate, we use Ctrl plus that square bracket thing. It's pretty hard combination, so always set up your keyboard shortcut to draw comfortably. We go to settings menu on top, configure Krita, keyboard shortcuts, and search for zoom by tapping it here. You can replace it or make a second alternative shortcut. I like to keep my left hand on the left side of keyboard just like playing games, so I set all my shortcuts around there, like Shift A and Z to zoom, and search for rotate 2 if you use it. I set them to Shift key and Shift E. You also can press 4 and 6 to rotate, but I never use rotate key because there is better alternative to rotate precisely. I admit it's not as good as ibisPaint PC version, where you can just hold Z to zoom and R to rotate, but that's the only good thing from this ibisPaint PC version. This sketch is super bad. Now we get into layers. It's pretty much the same as ibisPaint. The layers is on the right side there. and just click on the same plus icon to add new layer, and click the same eye icon to hide or unhide it. Krita is not that hard, right? Now let's get into the actual drawing. This ibisPaint on PC has never worked for me. If I disable Windows Ink setting on Human driver, the pressure will not work. But if I enable it, I cannot click anything because it registers multiple clicks. So I need to disable it each time I want to click the menu and enable it again to draw. One most important setting you need to set up on any drawing program is the pen pressure sensitivity. On ibisPaint, you can access it on this menu. The default one is always super weird. On Krita, you need to go to Settings menu on the top, Configure Krita, and to the Tablet Settings tab. Try to play around with it to find your own settings. You need to be able to get smooth control between the low and high pressure. Each hand are different and each tablet also works differently. On ibisPaint, the settings for the brush size, opacity, and switch to eraser are already clear on this middle screen here. On Krita is located on the top there, pretty much the same as ibisPaint but maybe smaller. I usually never use them and just use the keyboard shortcut, that square bracket icon thing. But it's located on the right side of keyboard, so I changed them to left side with Z and X. I never changed the opacity, but you can set them there too. Just search opacity. You also can hold shift then drag to change the brush size directly. In my experience using Krita for more than 10 years from potato laptop, the performance always fine. Clip Studio is crashing more often than Krita, and I only have used Clip Studio to make 10 drawings. It already crashed more than all this time using Krita. One thing for certain is it's smoother than ibisPaint on PC. Erasing in Krita works differently. If we press this eraser icon on the top, it doesn't switch to your eraser brush, but it turns your current brush into erasing mode. You can just press E to toggle it. It's basically the same as ibisPaint where you can use any brush to erase. You still can select that specific eraser brush to erase normally. Erasing in ibisPaint is super weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not smooth and suddenly disappear and not erasing gradually. Now we get into base coloring. Usually people like to use Lasso Tool for this. So we make new layer below sketch and select with Lasso Tool, then fill it with Bucket Tool. And we need to manually click on the selection. Pretty annoying since I need to go back and forth if I forgot to disable selection. Krita also have all the tools, same like ibisPaint. We can make new layer by pressing plus icon. You can drag it to move the order, same like using finger. Then all the tools are on the left side here. The icons are pretty much the same. The lasso or freehand selection in Krita is this curvy dot lines. There is no weird lines like in ibisPaint, but this is the same as almost all drawing programs. Bucket tool or fill tool also on the left side with bucket icon. It works the same. To deselect the selection, we can just press Ctrl plus D. So no need to go back to selection tool only to deselect. All these default shortcut is mostly the same like all other PC programs. Both Photoshop and Clip Studio also use Ctrl D to deselect selection and bracket to change size and all other shortcut. So that's why you only need to learn all this stuff just once and you can use almost any other programs easily. Next we're gonna add some shading on the layer and enable clipping group. In ibisPaint, we can just click on downward arrow icon there to enable it. If you don't know clipping, it's a must-use layer property. With this, your painting area will be locked to the one layer below it, so you will not color outside the base layer. Krita, like other programs, has that basic feature, but it's called Inherit Alpha and using that A icon. A bit different from others, but it's still the same. And when you enable it, it's not working directly. It still goes outside with clipping group. It's because in Krita, you need to group the layers to enable clipping group properly, just like the name group. So we select the layers by holding shift and clicking them. Then right click, group, make a quick group, or just press Ctrl G like shown here. After being grouped, the clipping group will actually works. On ibisPaint, we can hold the pen to use eyedropper or color pick, but in Krita, we need to hold Ctrl. Usually on other program, it use Alt key to color pick. I think we can switch this on the setting, but the default one is Ctrl in Krita. We can make new layer for the part 2 like cloud and enable clipping group too. It's the same like before. Now the sketch is a bit too ugly, so let's go back to the sketch layer to fix them. I usually like to use Liquify to fix it. In ibisPaint, it's located on the special menu. Then always flip the view to refresh our brain so we can fix it properly. It's a bit annoying on ibisPaint, going to canvas and flip. In Krita, erasing can be a bit annoying since we currently use small brush size, and by pressing E, it will still use the same small brush to erase, while I want to erase using something bigger. So there is this my favorite shortcut, switch to previous brush. Go to settings and type switch. This switch to previous preset is actually talking about the brush. The default one is slash, but I switched it to W. So with this I can select my sketching brush and then select eraser. Then we can just press W to switch between the brush and eraser. To use Liquify in Krita, we need to select transform tool. The icon is that square icon on the left side, but you can just press Ctrl T, another universal shortcut like other programs do for transform tool. This transform tool allow you to move, rotate, and scale stuff, but also the Liquify is hide in this tool too. You need to go to tool option on the right side and click on that water drop icon for Liquify. Change the amount and spacing to around 0.03. I heard some people need to use different value to use this properly. In here, I need to set it super low. So try to find your own correct setting. To change the size, you can also hold shift and then drag. There are other Liquify options here like to expand, and there is this revert. So with this tick, it will make a pinch instead expand and make things smaller. So we also can hold Ctrl to switch this temporary. Like this one is tick, so we are on pinch mode. And then I hold Ctrl, it turns untick into expand mode. And then I release the control and it back to tick mode into pinch mode. And the same for this rotate mode, it will go clockwise or counterclockwise. The settings power here is a bit different, so we need to adjust that. And lastly, this one is to revert change. To confirm the change, we can just switch to our brush tool by pressing B, and maybe pressing enter will work too. If it turns bad, we can always undo by pressing Ctrl Z. The performance may be one of the worst, but it's still acceptable. It's not super smooth like Procreate, but maybe around the same level as Clip Studio. And remember to flip the view. In Krita, the default shortcut is M, but I changed it to tab since I use them a lot. Just type mirror on the search and change it. My hand always automatically spam it each time I post my drawing. Next, I continue to clean up my sketch. See how weird the eraser here in ibisPaint. I always set my sketch to multiply and turn it to reddish color. In ibisPaint, we can go to filter with FX icon to find the curve adjustment thing, but it's locked with the Pro feature. So alternatively, we can just enable alpha lock on the layer by clicking that lock icon there, and just paint in red. Alpha lock will lock the coloring area, so we will not add new space, just change the color on the existing alpha on current layer. So we can turn the sketch into red color. In Krita, alpha lock icon is right beside the clipping group icon, that A icon. Not the lock icon, but on the right side, the blocky rubric icon. Click it and it shows the lock. The rubric icon represents the alpha, and when we click it, we lock the alpha. But why I erase them here? We can always customize our menu here to anything, like move out the color there, move the brush to the left side, like in ibisPaint, and change the icon size. Unfortunately, we don't have brush preview like in ibisPaint, so we can just see the names and the icon. We also can change the color selector to other shape like triangle, although it's a bit weird, but we cannot change it to tilt square like in ibisPaint. Probably need to get used to it since ibisPaint is the only program that uses that weird tilt square color wheel. I prefer this triangle color wheel, but I use a plugin for it called Pigment O. And then I almost forgot one important thing. Unlike ibisPaint, you need to manually save it. So you can go to File and Save or press Ctrl S. I recommend you make a special folder to keep all your drawing. I keep all mine into this departition artwork folder. I even pin it here. You can pin it by moving the folder to the side. It will stay pinned to quick access. And to make it clean, I like to rename the folder to year and month. And then make sure to name your file clearly. You can see the thumbnail view, so don't need to worry if you like to name it weirdly. You can still know what instead by looking the thumbnail. The duplicates here are the backup. You can enable them on settings. And then enable autosave in settings. Going to general file handling tab. I set mine to 3 minutes. You will be surprised how much progress you can lose in just 3 minutes when you are logged in. I don't see any negative performance impact with this low interval saving. Saving is pretty quick and runs in the background. I enable create backup just in case the save file is corrupted, and it never corrupt. You can change how many backup it keeps too. And if you have any performance issue, try to go to performance setting and switch between OpenGL or Directory 11. Each PC gonna be different, so try them yourself. And restart Krita to apply it. Krita always remind you to save each time you close it, so make sure to remember to save. Try to compare and find which one best for you. You can try disable canvas graphic acceleration too. I found some YouTube video recommend that couple years ago, but I find that the performance will be much worse. It even lag when we move around. One thing I forgot to explain here, you can duplicate the layer by pressing Ctrl J or right click duplicate layer. And other shortcut you need to know, press Ctrl U for hue saturation filter, or by going filter menu on the top color adjust. You can find other filters too, along with the shortcut key like that curve adjustment or tone curve in ibisPaint that lock with paid feature. Other filter like blur also in there. If you hate using the keyboard shortcut, there is this unique feature in Krita you can use by right click. You can set your pen button if you have to right click, so you can easily open this wheel thing. It's called pop-up palette, and you can configure it in setting. You can change the number of brushes shown and the size of it. You can click this arrow to change the brush size and opacity. There is also this button to flip view and zoom in or zoom out. And then to rotate the view, you can use this slider. So no need to use keyboard shortcut, and you can keep the view cleaner by removing the brush list menu. Also remove the top toolbar for more space by disabling it on the setting toolbar shown. All the menu like the brushes and layers menu are called dockers. You can see them on the settings docker and enable it or disable it. The brushes on the top on this pop-up palette is sorted by name. It only shows specific tag by clicking the tag icon. You can see here it's the same order. To change the brush setting, press F5 on your keyboard. You can change the brush tip and the curve thing. You also can rename it. ibisPaint doesn't have such curve to control the brush dynamic. You can tick size and then tick enable pen settings, so the size will follow your pen pressure. And you need to manually save them by click override brush preset. You can test them first to see the change, but it will be not saved the next time you open Krita if you didn't save it. When saving it, you can customize the icon too. One easiest change is to use the scratch pad, so you can easily remember your own brushes. There is this one layer blending that I like, but not visible on default setting. It's soft light. If you open the layer blending option, there is this bunch of arrow you can expand. And in this lighten, you can find soft light Photoshop. I don't know what's different between all the soft light, but I just use something I'm familiar with. And then tick it. By ticking it, it will show on the top list like other layers type. You can change the layer thumbnail size by clicking the hamburger icon there. I like to keep them small and clean, only showing that opacity and the type. Unchecking inline looks better. This overview menu is also pretty useful. Other than to view the full size in this small view, works as thumbnail view. You also can zoom and rotate. The rotation is much better than using the shortcut. Krita also has time-lapse record feature. If you use ibisPaint, you probably will like it. Go to settings, Docker, and enable recorder. In this recorder menu, I set mine to record automatically, so I don't need to click it each time I draw. You probably think it's a bit weird. I think you will understand it once you look at how the record is saved. It's basically bunch of images here. It saves each 2 seconds, the capture in the file, and it's saved as JPEG. This one is already the best. As for the quality, I set mine to 50% with half size. The quality is not that bad if you see it as video, and I only set it to half size with around 1500 pixels. Since most people don't zoom much when viewing this timelapse preview, you can click here to see all your recorded stuff. The size can be really big, that's why I set them low. You can erase the recording here by click and then discard. While the saved image can be really big once you export it to video, the video size is relatively small. The export menu can be confusing too. I'm not really want to explain it now. It can take so much time to explain it with bunch of math. Just set it to 60 and 60. And you also need a program called FFmpeg. Pretty complicated for mobile users. The last thing I like is going to file and document information. You can see your drawing time for this one drawing. You can change the color theme too by going settings theme. There is this like if you like it and maybe try other theme too. The background color is also can be changed by going configure Krita, display menu, canvas decorations, and change this canvas border color. So it will match better if you change the theme. I forgot how the default Krita settings. There are some settings you can disable to get more space, cleaner space, like in ibisPaint. Like in this window setting, this tab mode is taking extra space for only the tab file name like in browser tab. Adobe most artists will draw multiple pieces at same time, so you can switch it to stop window and maximize it to get extra space. The toolbars also can be disabled if you don't use it. And then on view, you can disable status bar. It only shows your current status, the brush you use, and the file size and its memory usage. It also shows saving progress when you save. Pretty useless for me, so I disable it. And you can also disable rulers. And I think there is an option for enable scroll bar too, but I cannot find it.